Welcome back, everyone, to Thrashers Paradise. We are joined with a very special guest returning to Thrashers Paradise. We are joined with Steve of Invicta and the band we're talking about today, Scorn.
Yeah, hey everybody.
Scorn released a brand new EP early this year called Son of Mud, which you can find on Spotify and other streaming platforms, I do believe. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get it on like Amazon and a whole bunch of other ones, and it's not on YouTube yet, but you can get it everywhere else pretty much. Yeah.
Excellent. So, when did Son of Mud start?
It was probably about half a year ago. I just wanted to cover a couple of songs that I like, so I started doing that, and then I kind of named the EP after the two cover songs, and then I just had a couple originals that I was working on at the time, so I decided to throw those on there, and yeah, so I'd say about 6 months ago probably I started working on that.
Awesome. Now, for the people that might be a bit confused on what are the covers and what are the originals, could you just do the breakdown for us here,
For
just
sure.
so people
Yeah,
know?
yeah. So the album, the first two songs, Troop and Forgotten Origins, those are both originals written by me. And then the two cover songs are the last two songs on it, which are Son of Lilith and My Name is Mud. And Son of Lilith is a Coroner cover, and My Name is Mud is a Primus cover.
Yes, I want to get right into that. Was it very clear to you that you were going to do a Primus cover, and more specifically this song in particular for this EP?
Yeah, because I was listening to a lot of Primus at the time, and I still am, but there wasn't really too much or like another song that I had in mind because this is my favorite song by them, and I just really I just love the tones in it, and I thought it could be like a little bit heavier, so I threw a little bit of a death metal, spin on it. There's some double bass and some heavier guitars and stuff like that, but yeah, it's just I wanted to cover My Name is Mud from the get go. That was like kind of what initially started it. That and just like the urge to play or cover some songs that I really liked. So
Yes, and talking about covers, the album cover itself is very unique compared to the last one you had for the date for the album.
yeah, for sure it is.
What was the main inspiration when it came to the creation of the album artwork, and who was the mastermind behind it?
Okay, well, a couple things. I just wanted the EP to look pretty, or the cover to look kind of gritty. So I got a kind of it looks kind of like badass, And then because My Name is Mud is on the Pork Soda album, which also has like a pig's head on it. It's like a deformed pig's head. I kind of incorporated that because the mask is a pig mask, and I just wanted it to look kind of like, gritty and rough. So I just went out into a field one day with a buddy, and before we went to a Halloween mask, and I had the vision in my head. I kind of wanted like something to do with the pig mask. I didn't have like what I was gonna do per se, but I had an idea of like somebody kind of just like looking kind of creepy. You know what I mean? I had that in my head with the pig mask. So we got the pig mask, and then we went to a field that I know it's just by one of my friend's place, just a field, and then the sun was going down, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity. I just got my buddy, and I had an old aluminum baseball bat too, and we bought some fake blood. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see it on there that I splatted it on him, and I splatted it all over his body. It was great. It was hilarious. And he was not happy about that, but so I got him to just pose a little bit, just to kind of look kind of hardcore, and he had a tattoo on his shoulder, so it looked pretty cool, and it would kind of look like he had like a flannel shirt on and just jeans, and he looked kind of scary with the mask on and the baseball bat. And then I ended up zooming in on one of the shots, and I thought it was just perfect. So the whole idea was just kind of like happened basically on a whim. I was just like, oh, let's do this let's get an incorporated pig mask. And then he was like, okay, well, let's go to a Halloween store. And it was around Halloween when I'm pretty sure it was around Halloween. We just went to like Spirit of Halloween and got the mask, and then I did it. And yeah, it was pretty just like something that was like on a whim, and it all happened in one day when I got the album cover art, and it was pretty quick process.
Awesome. For you, what song from the EP are you the most proud of turned out which song are you most proud of that turned out the best?
It's tough because I'd like to say the My Name is Mud cover. I really like how that turned out, but the first or the second song, Forgotten Origins, I really like that. That's probably my favorite because it's just it's gotten the most traction and it's like so that's a plus. But at the same time, it's just like the most intense and fast and fun to play. Really, it was a fun time recording it, and I normally don't have too much fun recording it, but that song just kind of ended up working when I recorded it. It just sounded great. I didn't have to do too much to it, so there wasn't too much editing on that. And yeah, I'd say that was my favorite song for sure. Forgotten Origins.
Awesome. Now, when it came to doing the recording for this, did you find it easier or harder than Comedic Tragedy?
It was definitely easier. I'm getting used to it. I have more of my workflow's getting better, and I'm getting used to the tools that I'm working with now. I'm getting a lot better at mixing. I took some online courses with this thing called URM Academy, Unstoppable Recording Machine. It's just like a bunch of online courses for like learning how to mix music and stuff like that. So I did that, and I got my skills up a bunch, and then I just mixed this, and it ended up sounding really good. After I learned a bunch of stuff, I didn't learn too much. It was just like the proper things. Like before, I had an idea, and I was trying to more mold one sound into another sound, whereas I didn't realize that I should have just had the second sound to begin with, because you can't really like in mixing you can't really polish a turd, right? You gotta kind of like get good sounds right off the bat. So
Excellent. Now, speaking of a comedic tragedy, I don't know if you did see it, but we did actually list it in our top 10 album artworks of the year.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's awesome. That was really cool. Yeah.
Was it a big surprise to you?
Yeah, it was, honestly. I didn't think that too many people had put too much thought into it, and it's really cool that you guys really like the artwork. I was so happy with the artwork when I got it done. I just messaged somebody. His name was Santiago Schreiber, and I forget where he's from. It's like Venezuela or something like that. But he had just messaged him, and it was a really quick process with that too. It was only within a month it all happened, and it was such a cool image. I thought it was perfect for it, and I thought more people would be stoked on it. But I'm super happy with it. So I'm super glad you guys picked it for the top 10. That's great.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you did love the top 10 slot. Now, back to what's next. Have you already thought about what's the next chapter in the Scorn story?
Just a little bit. I haven't done too much thinking, so I'll probably start working on an EP, or not an EP, a full length soon. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that. I need to get more merch because all I have is some old shirts from way back when. I don't have too much merch, right? And so, but you got to get that. You have to save up enough money to make that initial merch payment so I can go get some other cool things. Like I want to maybe do mugs or something, but it's just it's kind of tough. It's not like my main thing. Like I can't say too much like anything is my main thing right now because I'm in between Invicta and Unbowed and Scorn and all this stuff and doing a whole bunch of solo project stuff. I could probably say that Invicta and Unbowed are two more of my main things, so I'm more focused on that right now, and I probably won't be I probably won't begin writing some more Scorn for about a couple months or so. So, I generally though I would like to have an album out because this EP came out roughly within a year of the last one. It was 12 days short of the release of the last EP in terms of like a year apart. So next year I'll probably try to have something out by January.
Well, speaking of that, a comedic tragedy has been out for over a year now. Does it still boggle your mind that it's already been a year?
Yeah, man. Like it honestly feels like yesterday. I remember uploading it to DistroKid and just like waiting for it, and it's such a vivid picture in my head. Just that experience doing that, and it seems like it was yesterday, not even a year ago. It's just nuts.
Now we know your one project, Invicta, is underway with some amazing stuff coming soon.
Yeah, big time.
But this next question is about Unbowed. We haven't heard a whole lot from Unbowed, and when I interviewed Alex back in 2019, there was an album that was on the way. Is that album still in the works?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Could we potentially see it out maybe this year?
Hopefully this year, yeah, that's the plan. We just got all my rhythm guitar parts done. The main thing is our drummer situation. So Julian left a little while ago, and so we were going to do program drums, but now we might actually have a drummer. who's going to be recording on it. So we're not too sure about it. We have all the other instruments recorded. So depending on how he drums it, we might re-record some stuff or yada yada. But so far, so good for the album release set to be this year, anyways, for Unbound. So we have the album artwork all ready to go. We have the whole concept ready to go, the song layout, we have all the songs. I mean, we don't have them laid out in order yet, but we have the whole concept. Johan has written an entire big thing for it, and the album is like 85% there. It's just the last little bit of recordings, and then Alex is going to mix it. And then after that, just PR and stuff, the usual.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the usual stuff, the usual tactics.
Oh, yeah.
Any merchandise planned?
Probably shirts again and hoodies. We would like the idea of hoodies a lot, and we'll probably be doing some flags. It's tough. We haven't talked too much about that yet, so we're still focused on just like getting all the pieces of the album to fit together properly. So
I do want to say this. This is a compliment towards the band. I love the fact that you had long sleeves with the album artwork on from the previous one. I think that's very smart marketing right there.
Hell yeah. I still wear that all the time too. We all just like took one out of the batch, and it was great. It's great. They're great shirts too. The print is nice, and yeah, for sure, I love those long sleeves. Mm-hmm. And so do the people who buy them. We got nothing but positive responses from those. So.
Well, I don't see many local bands coming out with long sleeves.
I know,
especially here in Ontario.
It's the old school thing, and I don't know why, because like all the KW guys are into the old school. We need more long sleeves. I totally agree with you. We need more long sleeves.
Yes, long sleeves matter.
Yes.
Local metal.
yes, they do.
So long on that topic. Yes. So on that note, could we potentially expect some Scorn long sleeves? Maybe down the line?
Oh man, that would be so cool. I would love to have a comedic tragedy Scorn long sleeve with like a comedic tragedy going down one arm and just like the album on the front. That would be so cool. Yeah, for sure. Definitely within I don't want to say the near future, but it's going to happen for sure. I definitely want to get hoodies and sweaters and all that stuff for Scorn. That would be really cool.
Even physical copy CDs?
Oh yes, that's the first thing I gotta get too, right? Yeah, I totally. I know that always just slips my mind that I gotta do that. I never ended up getting physicals for a comedic tragedy, and I just never had plans for this one either. But it could be a possibility soon because it's not that hard to do it, honestly. So I just gotta buy the jewel cases, and then I could print off all the stuff myself. So it's a possibility. It could happen within the year. It could happen. I'll keep it in mind.
Excellent. Now, one last question to ask you, because the last question we usually do have fun with, as you might remember from last time you appeared.
Ready?
Now, a lot of bands nowadays, for some reason, have been partnering up with local breweries or even bigger name breweries or distilleries to come out with a signature bottle of alcohol or signature line of beer. If you ever had the opportunity for Scorn, what kind of alcohol would you want it to be, and what would you want it to be called?
That's cool. I'd probably that's a good question. I like stouts, so I'd probably do some kind of stout or porter. And, God, that's a tough question. What would it be named? Fuck. Like, the first thing that comes to mind, it's kind of dumb, but because porter, Scorner, but like that's kind of dumb. So,
well, honestly, I think that would sell though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'll keep that in mind for sure. That's a cool idea. No, I never thought about that. That'd be so cool to have a beer like. Oh God, what would be the name? That's a tough one. I'll keep that in mind, and next time I'll give you the answer.
Excellent. Well, Steve, thank you so much for taking time out of your hectic schedule to join me once again here on Thrashers Paradise. Is there anything else you want to say to the people at home watching this?
Just keep watching Thrashers Paradise because it's a great little interview show, and I like watching them every once in a while. It's really cool. And keep listening to metal, and go check out the new Scorn EP, Son of Mud, and that's about it. You're a great guy, Colin, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Of course, you're more than welcome back on whenever, and by the sounds of it, it looks like we might be talking a bit sooner than next year if this Unbound album does come
for
out.
sure, for sure. That'll be cool.
Yes, well, until next time, everyone,
Fingers crossed.
keep on thrashing.
Take it easy.